Run the code online or download from codegive.com, link in the description below. Title: Installing TensorFlow with Conda for Python 3.8. Introduction. TensorFlow is a popular open-source machine learning library developed by Google. Conda is a powerful package manager and environment manager for installing and managing dependencies. This tutorial will guide you through the process of installing TensorFlow with Conda for Python 3.8. Prerequisites. TensorFlow is a popular open-source machine learning framework developed by Google. Conda is a package manager widely used in the Python ecosystem, known for its ease of use in managing dependencies and environments. In this tutorial, we'll walk through the steps to install TensorFlow using Conda for Python 3.8. It's always a good practice to create a separate Conda environment for each project to keep dependencies isolated. You can skip this step if you prefer to install TensorFlow directly into your base environment. To create a new environment, open your terminal or command prompt and run the following command. Replace mynv with the name you prefer for your environment. Activate the environment using for Windows, for Mac OS and Linux. Now that we have our environment set up, we can proceed to install TensorFlow. We'll use the Conda package manager to install TensorFlow and its dependencies. TensorFlow provides two versions, CPU only and GPU supported. We'll install the CPU version in this tutorial. To install TensorFlow, run the following command in your terminal. This will install the latest version of TensorFlow compatible with your Python version. If you want to install a specific version of TensorFlow, you can specify it like this. Replace 2.6.0 with the version you want to install. After installation, you can verify that TensorFlow is installed correctly by importing it in a Python script or the Python interpreter. This will print the installed TensorFlow version. If TensorFlow is installed correctly, you should see the version number printed without any errors. Congratulations! You have successfully installed TensorFlow using Conda for Python 3.8. You can now start building and training machine learning models using TensorFlow in your Python environment. Remember to activate your Conda environment whenever you start working on your project. If you encounter any issues during installation or have questions, refer to the official TensorFlow documentation or the Conda documentation for troubleshooting tips and additional resources. ChatGPT. In this tutorial, we'll walk through the process of installing TensorFlow using Conda on Python 3.8. TensorFlow is a popular open-source machine learning framework developed by Google. Conda is a package management system that helps in installing and managing software packages, including Python packages. First, let's create a new Conda environment where we'll install TensorFlow. Conda environments help in isolating dependencies for different projects. Open your terminal or command prompt and run the following command to create a new environment named tensorflow_env with Python 3.8. Press Y when prompted to proceed with the installation. This command will create a new environment with Python 3.8 installed. After creating the environment, activate it using the following command. You'll notice that your command prompt changes to indicate that you are now working within the tensorflow_env environment. With the environment activated, you can now install TensorFlow. TensorFlow provides different versions optimized for different hardware configurations. Here, we'll install the CPU-only version. If you have GPU support and want to install the GPU version, you can replace TensorFlow with TensorFlow GPU in the command. Run the following command to install TensorFlow. Press Y when prompted to proceed with the installation. Conda will then download and install TensorFlow and its dependencies. Once the installation is complete, You can verify that TensorFlow is installed correctly by opening a Python interpreter within the conda environment and importing TensorFlow. If TensorFlow is installed correctly, you should see the version number printed without any errors. Congratulations! You've successfully installed TensorFlow using conda on Python 3.8. You can now start building and running machine learning models using TensorFlow within this conda environment. Remember that whenever you want to work with TensorFlow, you need to activate the tensorflow_env environment using conda activate tensorflow_env. ChatGPT